All right, before we go to break, I do want to discuss a serious incident involving Bucks rookie Sterling Brown. According to the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel, Brown plans to file a civil rights lawsuit against the Milwaukee Police Department for an incident that occurred in January. Now, this started with officers questioning Brown about a parking violation, and it ended with them using a stun gun on him and arresting him. The body camera footage of the incident is expected to be released tomorrow, and several sources who have seen the video told the paper that Brown did absolutely nothing to provoke the officers. Here's one of the quotes. "He isn't combative, he isn't threatening," said one source, quote, "very bad." Now, Milwaukee Mayor Tom Barrett, who has seen the footage, said, "I definitely have concerns after watching the video." Guys, I mean, we haven't seen the video yet, but again, the facts. Parking violation. Apparently this was in the parking lot of a Walgreens. He parked in a handicapped space, which he shouldn't have done because he doesn't have handicap plates.
Right.
This does not get you stun gunned and arrested though. I mean, how does it make you feel when you feel that we went from here to there?
Well, it is what it is, Rachel, and a lot of people don't want to hear it. You can have all the money in the world. You can be successful, you can be an NBA football player, but you're still black at the end of the day.
Yep.
And you're gonna get looked at looked at a certain way, regardless where you at, what you're doing, and that's just the reality of it. A lot of people don't want to say it. I mean, I'm pretty sure, like, you have people speaking up for this kid saying he's not a confrontational kid, he's a good kid, and to get tasered over a parking spot, that shows that it's only because of either him being black or just whoever reacted that way, just having a bad day.
Just not surprised. I mean, this is what young black kids, young black adults have been going through in America. I was raised in Los Angeles where I was seeing the riots. I seen how they reacted. I've been a victim of being handcuffed for no reason by the police. It's just, I don't understand why we're still at this point at this day and age in 2018 when we should have come so far from racism and us having a black president. You got to look at people as equal, and it's just for black people to be continually sought out with gun violence and being arrested for no apparent reason, not a reason that justifies it. It's just disappointing.
And it just shows that there's no respect, because as a man, if I'm doing something wrong, somebody can tell me that I'm doing something wrong, and I can understand that without you putting your hands on me.
Right.
It's a respect, and that shows that there's no respect. Is no respect. If you can't have the conversation after disagreements, I was just telling him, me and J.R. Smith had a disagreement, but as brothers and as men, we were able to figure it out because it wasn't that serious. If you're in a situation where you're man to man, if you can't handle it verbally, then it's something that you're dealing with.
I think, first of all, the fact that he is apparently, according to the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel, going to file this civil rights lawsuit, I think that's a really great step. And I think
so
that
too.
Shows sort of, look, athletes are leaders of the
so
community,
we just have to figure out how do we solve this problem, though, because, I mean, we talk about it, but then it seems like nothing gets done.
Right.
So there has to be a way for us to, like, bring it to a higher power in the communities, the community leaders, someone who can listen and get with the officers and have this meeting amongst all across America to figure out how can we do better.
And I mean, look, you guys are people who have resources. You have kids. Your kids are growing up as privileged children in America. You earn that right for your kids to grow up with lots of resources. And yet
Right.
I know I've talked to you both. You send your kid out of the house in the morning and you feel like, oh.
Yeah, I have two boys, Rachel, that's close to being teenagers. And, I pray to God that they never have to deal with a situation like that, because my kids wasn't raised like I was. So they not as tough as me. They spoiled kids, I had to deal with a lot. So I walked around.
But you worked hard so they could be spoiled.
Yeah, but I was growing up, I walked around with a chip on my shoulder. I wasn't taking up from nobody. I had to grow up with that tough attitude. And I just don't want my kids to experience that, because all they know is life is great, treat everybody right, what they were taught. We know right from wrong. We love everybody. And I don't want them to have to deal with that to figure out, well, am I living right or wrong? It's just not right.
Well, as I said, look, the NBA has tried to get involved in this issue, as you know, Paul, because exactly as you said, there has to be a change coming. There's lots of different ways the NBA can contribute to that change. One of them is by someone like Sterling taking the step and saying, hey, I have means, I have resources, I have a high profile, and I'm going to say this isn't okay. Because frankly, not everyone who's put in his position has all of those things.
Right.
So if he can go out and say this isn't okay, put pressure on the police department, have more conversations within that police department, and maybe bring about some positive change, that's the idea. We will be following this in the next couple days for sure.